my name is Jody. I am here to answer 4 questions about assistive technology. The 4 questions are as follows. 1. What are the pros and cons of assistive technology used by students with disabilities? 2. As a professional who knows the law, what is your standpoint on considering assistive technology for all students on IEPs? 3. What is your perspective on the family's role in the assistive technology process? 4. What do you see as your role as a teacher in the assistive technology process? The pros and cons of assistive technology used by students with disabilities. Some of the pros are as follows. First, it allows students to have access to the curriculum like their typical peers. If students are doing research on the internet, a student who does not have the motor skills to use a mouse can use a touchscreen computer to maneuver through the internet. It allows a student to be independent. Assistive technology allows students to do things on their own and not have to have another person do it for them. An example is that my student has a Vantage communication device that is programmed to turn his TV on and off, change the channels, and increase or decrease the volume. If it was not programmed to do this, his parents or caregiver would have to be constantly operating the TV for him. It allows the students to communicate with their peers or people in the community. A Vantage communication device is an example that my student uses to communicate. He is nonverbal, but with his device he can call and order pizza. He can also tell the doctor what's wrong. Another example is a Tech Talk. It is different buttons that you can program to say different things that the student may want to say or need. Some of the cons of assistive technology are as follows. Some of the communication devices can cost a lot of money, and insurance does not always pay for it or pay to have it replaced if thrown. A touchscreen computer runs about $500, so assistive technology can be expensive. Assistive technology can also make students look different and stand out. A student may have a communication device but does not always want to carry it around because the other students are not carrying one. Or there are different types of calculators. A student may not want to use a money calculator in class because no one else is. I had a student who wore hearing aids. However, she hated wearing them because it made her look different. She would make sure the batteries were dead or would ruin them so she did not have to wear them. Assistive technology may not always be available. Some teachers may not have the means to have the assistive technology always in the classroom. For example, Boardmaker is an expensive program and not all teachers have it. Therefore, some students may be used to books adapted while others not. Batteries in communication devices also die. If there are not batteries around or it has not been charged, then the student will have to go without the device. What is your standpoint on considering assistive technology for all students on IEPs? I think that if a student needs assistive technology, then it should be part of the student's IEP. In order for that to happen, the student needs to be evaluated for this service and the assistive technology be agreed upon by all team members. I think it should be included as long as it allows the students to perform to their ability. Assistive technology may not always be needed for every student on an IEP. It would depend on the student's needs. Because assistive technology written on the IEP is then mandatory for the student. It should be a real need, not a want. For example, putting a student needs a touchscreen for a computer on his IEP when the student does not use the computer or hates it is not going to be a great decision. It is going to cost the school a lot of money when it will not be used appropriately. Another example would be if a student is nonverbal and can type, then appropriate choice may be some type of communication device. You would have to evaluate the student to see which communication device would assist them the most. Number 3, what is your perspective on the family's role in the assistive technology process? I think that we need to have the family involved in the assistive technology process. They know the student in a different and more real way than we do as teachers. If a student is to use a communication device at school and it is expected to be used at home, the family should be willing to use the assistive technology when applicable. A student uses Advantage. He also signs. When he is at home, he uses more sign language, and at school he uses both sign language and the communication device. When deciding on the device, we knew along that he would still sign. When they go to the doctors or out into the community, he uses his device. The family should be working with the team to get the assistive technology. I don't think that the family should be the ones to make all the decisions. I think the families needs to be trained in the use of the assistive technology that is used for their student. The family needs to take into consideration that assistive technology is the student's voice or hands or part of them and to respect it. One child I know has gotten 4 tech talkers to use at home. He is currently on home instruction so that he can communicate with his parents and not have to constantly change the overlays. The parents have decided that they did not want to use them for his communication, but as toys. Each device now has music programmed on them on all different levels. Each device is a different type of music. The parents are not thinking that it is his voice. Number 4. What do you see as your role as a teacher in the assistive technology process? I have a few roles in the assistive technology process. One role is in the decision-making process. I should be included in every step from the evaluation to the final step of teaching the student how to use the assistive technology. I should also have my class set up so that every student who is using assistive technology can use it daily or have the chance to use it. With my student who uses a communication device, I need to make sure I give him enough opportunity to use the device as natural as possible. I need to make sure that he has enough response time to maneuver through the device and enough time to put it into a sentence. If it is needed in the IEP, I need to make sure that it is correctly written. I had a student who needs a switch to be able to navigate through his talker. While reading the IEP from the previous year, it said he has the talker and can communicate using it, but no mention of the switch. So once he came into the classroom, we did not have the proper switch for him to use. He had to use the communication device all summer, but could not use it because the teacher from the previous year had used her own switch to hook up the device. So once he got to school, we had to rewrite the IEP to include the switch along with the talker. I think that a teacher's role in assistive technology can be unlimited. It can be from training different staff, to the upkeep of the devices, to even setting up different things. One of the things I had to do in the past was to make sure that a student's hearing aids were correctly working every day and were clean. I also had to train staff on how to use communication devices and how to program them. I have had to adapt books using Boardmaker or writing with symbols. Those are all parts of assistive technology that I've needed to do, and many more.